everyone, welcome back to the Hollywood Actors Guide to Surviving the Film and Television Industry. This is your host, Jennifer Lynn Warren. Let's have some fun today. Let's talk about sociopathic characters. Now, a lot of times people wonder what the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath is. There's not a whole lot of difference other than a psychopath doesn't have a conscience at all. They can lie to you, kill you, steal your money, and they don't feel anything about it. It's like their emotions are completely turned off. But a sociopath, which is what we are asked to more often than not to play because they are much more common than a psychopath, they have a conscience, but it's usually pretty weak. So it's there. It's not that they don't understand, it's that they don't care. So why are we talking about this today? A sociopath is easy to play, right? They're usually funny and they don't have a lot of empathy. I can play that, right? Well, I'm sure you can. You're actors and you're out there and you're training like you should be, right? I'm sure you can play anything. But I think that we have this idea of what a sociopath is, and sometimes we're given a character that we're having trouble breaking what the emotional arc and journey is of this character because they're a sociopath and we don't realize it. So let me give you some examples. James Bond is a sociopath. I mean, think about the body count that man, the amount of sex he's had with how many women, and he doesn't seem to care. Batman, here's a guy who's really rich. He dresses up in a costume, and he really seems to enjoy beating people up within an inch of their lives, even if they're just a bank robber, right? And he doesn't seem to have any worries about that, right? I would even say that Jay and Silent Bob are a bit sociopathic because they're watching the world go by and they don't seem to care about anybody else other than themselves or each other, which is kind of an interesting, complex type of sociopathy. I would say that Sherlock Holmes is a sociopath. Some people, they like to play him, and they play him as somebody who is cold and a bit emotionless, but for some reason, some actors don't seem to make the connection that he is a sociopath because he's not necessarily going around killing people, right? That isn't what a sociopath is. So as actors, we can be given these very complex characters that are outside social norms, outside of our own personal abilities to understand them, and they can be outside of the normal actor work that we do in our class. So we're taught to, dig deep into our emotions. We are taught to, if you do Meisner, you do a lot of repetition and you do a lot of empathy work to feel the other person and get into tune with them. But when you're playing a sociopath, I would not recommend doing Meisner work with the character. Like if I was doing a play, and let's say it was a Sherlock Holmes play and I was a Meisner-based director, I would have all of my actors do that work except Sherlock Holmes. The very fact that I would be separating that character, I think would actually be effective for the cast and creating a separation and an emotional wall, because that's what that character has. And so oftentimes when we're thinking, oh, I want to play a sociopath, we think of killers, we think of like Ted Bundy or the Zodiac Killer. And sure, yeah, they were either socio or psychopaths. I'm really not sure which one they were. I'm not that deep into that murder culture there. But I would figure that out if I was going to play them as an actor. Do they know what they're doing and they don't care? Or do they really just have absolutely no understanding of emotion and therefore cannot understand why everybody around them is so upset? Sorry if you keep hearing that ding in the background. That's my agent asking where to send tax forms. Tax season. So the reason I bring this up is because sociopathic characters can be a lot of fun to play. characters that are outside our emotions. But when you're looking at a script and you realize that maybe this character is a bit of a sociopath, like if you were auditioning to play Dexter was a bit of a who's a very much a sociopath. I would even say that Dr. House in House was definitely a sociopath. He understood very much how people felt. He just didn't care, and he manipulated other people's emotions. And he would not be able to manipulate people's emotions if he was a psychopath, right? So it's not that he didn't have emotions or that he didn't care, because we saw him doing emotional journeys, but he was very much a sociopath because he could feel all of his feelings and still not care about other people's feelings. And when you're approaching a script and a human being on the page, remember that they're real. These are real people. Characters lie. I was working with somebody today on a scene, and I was pretty sure their character was lying when they were saying something, and the actor hadn't even considered that the character was lying, because we're so used to going through the script, finding the given circumstances and the subtext and everything, and we take everything at face value, and you got to find what is not there, obviously, upon the face of the script. As we find ourselves almost a year into the COVID-19 pandemic, I wanted to make sure that all of you out there are creating. I need you to be creating something, whether it's journaling or writing poetry, or you're in class, which can be very important for your mental health, or you're making plays and putting them on for your cat or your roommate. I don't care. But what I do care about is you are an artist, and if you're feeling depressed and stuck and not feeling well, know that there has been scientific study and medical experiments out there that have studied artists and even actors, and what the conclusion is that if you are not expressing yourself creatively as a creative person, that you can make yourself sick. So now is a time that we need to keep our immune system strong. You need to be getting vitamin D, whether you get outside in the sunlight for at least 10 minutes a day, or you take it in the form of a capsule. You need to be eating healthy. I know it's easy to snack on sugar and stuff, but it's not great for your immune system. And to also keep yourselves healthy in this time, you have to keep your mental health healthy. Now, I'm also guilty of falling into some depression over the past year. It's been hard. It's been a really hard year. And every time I've been able to crawl myself back out is because I've started a new class, or I started writing a new script, or I filmed something, or I'm helping other actors. So just a short little reminder of self-care and to create something, because you don't want to make yourself sick. This episode of Hollywood Actors Guide to Surviving the Film and Television Industry is brought to you by WeAudition.com. WeAudition.com. If you're not on there, where are you? If you are an actor, you can find a reader on demand to rehearse or self-tape with. You can audition for roles and meet casting directors, agents, coaches, and industry experts. You can earn money yourself by being a reader, and all through an easy-to-use video chat. You don't have to be smart with technology. You can just log in, sign up, grab yourself a reader, or say, hey, anybody need a reader? Here I am. I'm ready and available. Use promo code HAG25 to get 25% off. Throughout the years, we've always talked about slating in the casting room, slating on your self-tapes. There's a lot of self-tapes going on. Don't be lazy with your slate. You want to slate as if you're introducing yourself to somebody that you have always wanted to meet. So picture that person. I don't care if it's an actor or a sports person, but you never want to be like, hey, Jennifer Lynn Warren. You want to be warm and inviting, like, hi, Jennifer Lynn Warren. You want to talk to that person and don't make too much of a meal out of it, and this is also for those Zoom callbacks and those Zoom auditions. always introduce yourself, and you want to introduce yourself the same way. You don't want to be like, hi, I'm Jennifer, and you're apologizing for your name. So many actors sound like they're apologizing for their names when they slate. How crazy is that? And it leaves a bad taste, and it's so negative. You want all the positivity that you can possibly put into your audition, callback, and etc. So slate and introduce yourself. Say hello to these casting directors and directors as if they are people that you are actually excited to meet. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys this week. Break a leg out there, and remember, you are not alone.